Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson. They run for the first time with Justice Hill. And this will go for 5 up to the 33. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And now an introduction here to the starting 11 on offense.
Let's take a look at Willie Snead, wide receiver, undrafted coming into the league. He's the quintessential coach's son. Knows how to play the game so well and plays it with joy.
On second down, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Jackson from the shotgun. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. An effective 7-yard third down conversion. Able to power through. And an alley to run. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 59 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
So that drive, 4 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Desean Watson.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game, was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I that's a little bit, not necessarily for me to look.
Lamar Miller, he's at the 40, past the 20, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, it will bench a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And we are tied at 7. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. That one caught out wide by Boykin. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Open man is Hill. He's got it. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That's it, baby. We're gonna work.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
And we expected to have already talked about this unit. We didn't get a chance to hit on the opening drive because they scored so quickly. But that's the kind of unit this is. A quick strike offense. I expect to see them taking their shots all game long. And if that's the case, we'll find ways to talk about this group.
And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They'll try the air now with Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Roughing the passer defense.
They stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
They don't want it. Keep playing hard. Set. 18. Woo! Let's get it.
After the penalty, it's Miller. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Now Bullock to add the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. They'll try the left side. It's Vaughn. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson steps away to his left. He'll run it, and he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. They go play action now. Jackson, they'll roll him out right. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danny Trevathan, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Now Watson to throw on 3rd down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now here come the Ravens. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On 2nd down now, it's Hill. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. They go play action with Jackson. And an alley to run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 19 yards there on the catch and run. So a first in Houston territory at the 45-yard line.
Here we go.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Mike's 50. Let's go one more.
They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson, quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And some space here. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. picked off by Danny Trevathan. Here's tight end Clay, the intended receiver.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And they still need 6 yards here on 3rd down after the penalty.
Oh, here we go.
From the gun, it's Jackson. It's complete to Snead. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Let's go.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Matt Judon racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Watson with a give to Miller. And an alley to run. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a pickup of 8 yards to move him into a 3rd and 13 here. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Now Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tim Williams make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. His feet, what he's been able to do individually running the ball, it's kind of kept him in this game.
No doubt about it, because if he's not making the plays that we've seen, they are really getting blown out in this one. I don't think they have any chance at all. He's keeping them in striking distance, hoping to get some help from the defensive side of the ball so that maybe some of these plays can turn into plays that maybe put them in the lead.
And oh, at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose, and the Texans scoop it. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Oh, we got it. We got it. Good job, D. Good job, D.
After that play, I think we know one quarterback will be extremely happy if his defense can hold the opposing team to a field goal here.
And now out comes Houston. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Throwing on second down. Watson. That's complete to Cobb. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And here in this first half as he gets it away. And this works out well as it'll kick out of bounds at the 11-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Ravens on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is third down and 12. From the gun, Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. Jackson now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run the counter. It's Vaughn. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Ravens on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. Snead's got it. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Now Cobb to return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Elsewhere, second quarter in D.C. and make it a 2-touchdown advantage now for the Giants. And we'll try and keep you updated others as we continue through this one. They begin with a run by Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And the Texans first down. 19, 48 coming.
On first down, Watson. And oh, this is taken in one-handed. What a catch.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew it was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Caught by Cobb. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. To throw is Watson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Tim Williams in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a down and 12. Here's Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Here's Bullock now for the extra point. It's good at 21-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to under a minute to go in the half. A first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Looking middle, and that's complete. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw is Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. The Ravens moving quickly here as the clock runs. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go. Second. Jackson now. That catch good for 5. It's third down. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play. In the game you're watching, it's Desean Watson, who is the star of the first half. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Set to take over again, Desean Watson and this Texans offense. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On second down, it's Miller, and he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
In the back, offense.
So that one will be accepted.
You got it. You got it.
To throw on second is Watson. Thomas has got it, complete. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
48 Mike.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second, a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They're down in defense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Jackson from the shotgun. And that will be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. A shotgun snap for Watson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On 2nd and 10, Watson. He's got Fuller. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Watson going to give this one to Miller. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up down. On 3rd down, Watson.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield. Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Watson now 6 for 6 since it's 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he's brought down. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 2nd and goal. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Watson now to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Tavon Young. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll keep it on the ground. Vaughn. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. On the return comes Cobb. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now it's Watson, and that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Play action. Now Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
He's across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Intended for Marquise Brown. Incomplete.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. Over the middle, complete. It's Hubbard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson. Again, it's Miller. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Hubbard. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He's brought down at the 37-yard line. A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he gets it down to the 2. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4. Watson looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Charles Clay is tied in the intended target. 3rd down here. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens heading out. So we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. To throw on 3rd down, Jackson sliding out, and he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Jackson now, a perfect 8 for start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now Jackson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike. I'm here all day.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long, been a lot of sync. Quarterback, wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers, and the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one is for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
I got you, pop. Switch.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
A quick slide to Fuller. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
They'll run it again with Miller. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape. Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now it's Jackson. He'll buy some time right, and now he's going to use his legs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
These guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Now Jackson on first down. Snead's got it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
False start, offense.
Orlando Brown guilty of the infraction there. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson rolling to his right. And now we're going to get a stoppage. Yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Looking to throw on 1st and 10. Here's McSorley. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 50, half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's goal now. Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. McSorley from the shotgun. This is caught. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Ravens get a bit closer. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. and finally it gets done, he's got to feel great right now.
They go for just one here as it's up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. A first down carry now for Miller. Oh, what a move. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra defense, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
On second down now, Foreman. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Come on.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's McSorley to throw, and this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? It's absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Ronald Darby. On fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
He got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it second down. Throwing again on second down. McSorley got him in. It's Brown. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Throwing is McSorley. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
That's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Houston, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.